Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to RFL Season 4, and we're here for Round 8 of Season 4, Tier 1, around Paul Ricard, and we're going to see one hell of a race. We've got 19-man lobby with one man due to join. I am your main commentator tonight, Morgs5631, and I'm going to be joined, as usual, alongside my co-commentator, Tom Gorian.
Hello everyone and welcome to Circuit Paul Ricard in Le Castellet, France. The Formula 1 has returned to France for the French Grand Prix, only the second time in RFL history that we are racing here. The last time we actually raced here was in RFL Season 2 on the F1 2018 game, and we did not travel here back for Season 3. But it's good to be back here, Morgs, for Season 4 of RFL on F1 2019. And by the look of things, the tyre selection will play a massive factor as to how this race is going to go out. If you watch the Tier 2 race, the tyre selection and the tyre strategy played a massive difference as to who won the race and also who gained the most out of the advantage, as Jack Sparr has left the session, so I will need to invite him again.
Yep, but yeah, as we saw, Tier 2, strategy was crucial around here. It wasn't just one of those races where some strategies work, some don't. There was pretty much, it was very crucial to get the right strategy at the right time and be on the right tyre at the right time. The tyre drop-off on the softs was huge. We saw Joel's fall back massively on the final few laps on the soft compound tyres when he was on for a podium. So it's crucial to make sure you're on the right tyre at the right time, and we're already seeing in qualifying quite a mix of drivers on different compounds. You've got quite a few on hards, one on mediums, and some on softs as well. So we're going to see a very interesting mix, but with that pole position point in RFL, that's why you're seeing a lot more on softs than you probably would see in other leagues. As on board with ILRT Jinx, making his debut today in the league. He's coming down towards turn 1-2 complex, and he's on the soft compound tyres today.
Yep, he is. I'm just trying to invite Danny back into the session, who's left. Unfortunately, obviously he is the host, so we don't want anything bad to happen to this RFL France lobby. So, who's on the lap here then? Let's go with W.
Well, IRT Jinx is the first driver on a lap, so he's going to be finishing to lap first and set the first provisional lap time of any driver. So I think we'll keep on board with him, and he's coming down towards the second sector split. So let's have a look at the final sector for Jinx.
Yep, 51.8 seconds. Therefore, ILRT Jinx, a newcomer to Racing Formula League, obviously is reserved for now. But if he does well and stays consistent, he will be a full-time driver, I'm guessing, in that Toro Rosso as he enters the final sector. And this sector is very tough when it comes to especially the front tyres. This part of the track requires a lot of downforce, mainly higher wings, and maybe even probably the minimum tyre pressures. But around the final corner goes LRT Jinx. Around the final corner, very smooth exit. And when steering wheel across the line it goes, he's just about to run out of ERS. 1 minute 29.6 on the soft tyres, and that is a quick lap. As who else is about to finish their laps is Chandler, who won in Monaco in the Mercedes around the final corner. And this is set to be a decent lap time. What is this? A 1 minute 29.7. Okay, but Jolly, quickest man so far, 1:29.6 again. Just 3 thousandths quicker than the Toro Rosso man. The championship leader, Jolly, who has dominated pretty much this season, is on pole position for now. Nuthead on the medium tyres in the Ferrari. He's had a decent lap time of a 32 flat. Obviously, I don't think that's respectable or competitive. And Langman, 4th place, 1 minute 30 flat, and also Atnaz as well. I think a lot of people are just messing up the lap times. Morgs Adam 34 flat, Brimson 32.2 on the hard tyres. So pretty much we're starting to see the difference in tyre compounds. One thing to watch out for is the tyre differences in lap time. So obviously with the soft tyre is the quickest tyre out of the selection, but obviously the least durable. What's up?
Sorry, just because you're not streaming, can you invite XXF1 Aiden, please? XXF1 Aiden 66XX. Just because You're not streaming, so don't want to ruin the
I don't
footage.
have him. I don't have him. It's a friend.
Just search for his name. Just search for his name.
Wait,
So
what is
Pred
it?
is just finishing up XX F1 Aiden 66 XX. As Pred comes across the line, where's he going to go? He's on the hards. He's in 8th place, just behind LCR Bumson, who set a decent time on those hard compound tyres. He's third in the championship at the moment after taking that win in Spain. One of 4 drivers to take a win this season, with Jolly taking the large majority of wins so far, with only 3 wins to his name. I'll double check that for you now. Only 3 wins to his name, so actually much less than I expected, but he has been very dominant for a lot of the season, especially Bahrain, China, Azerbaijan, where he won 3 in a row, which was absolutely superb before he did not race in Spain as Langman. I thought he cut the corner there, he was just going into pit. So anybody else on a lap at the moment? I think BMG Nomad is coming to the bits. Dutch Gamer Lars is also coming to the bits, but TR Pepsi is on a lap on the hard compound tyres. His best lap at the 134.2, and he's going on another lap on these hard compound tyres. So as he comes now down towards the end of Sector 1, he's 2 tenths up on his personal best, so not bad for a sector for TR Pepsi.
Yep, with TR Pepsi as well. He's on hard tyres right now. Obviously, he's not doing a lap right now. Let's see. So WR Verstappen in that racing point is on a lap. He's starting his lap here in the Castellet. Turn 1 and 2, very quick chicane, very blind as well. You've got to make sure you time this perfectly, otherwise you might take too much curb and spin out. Slight downhill in towards the second chicane, it's the kink of 3, now into 4 and 5. This part of the track is very flowing as well. Then in towards slower corners, and the end of Sector 1, slightly nearly loses the car there, but catches it and he goes a little bit wide, and that, I don't know if that's a track extend, I don't know if you caught that on stream modes, but massive track extend on the exit in towards the Mistral straight, in towards the third chicane, goes a little bit wide there, bit of hit to the apex, and then he's on his way again in towards the exit of Sector 2, he's on the soft tyres as well. 51.9 for WOR Verstappen. I think he won in Canada, I'm not sure, but he has performed well since he came to RFL. Round the long right-hander, very difficult on the front left tyre as well, who that does take the most beating around this circuit, so it's very important that the drivers do manage the tyre wear. Went a little bit wide there again, especially in towards the third sector. Penultimate corner. Doesn't hug the apex as most drivers do, and then the final corner just goes slightly wide there. As he crossed the line now, here comes WO Verstappen for a time of 1 minute 29.7, and that is good enough for 4th place.
Yep, a good lap there by WO Verstappen. He's taking 2 poles in a row at the moment in RFL Season 4, taking Monaco and Canada. Obviously Monaco didn't go well for him after having a retirement early on, but Canada went much better, finishing 2nd place behind Chandler after penalties were applied. So Joel Verstappen will be hoping to take his first maiden victory today, but he's got a lot of work to do with Jolly, ILRT, Jinx and Chandler all looking strong at the moment.
Yep, he does. We got on board with Danny at 31, the man who started the season so well, as we constantly say so many times with 1-2 in Australia, but since then just hasn't had the season that he's wanted. But he's looked better in recent races, has Danny at 31. Here goes in towards the final couple of corners. He's got a Toro Rosso that's LRT Jinx in the Toro Rosso, but across the line he goes. Not really 1 minute 31, 32.1. Obviously he's on the harder tyre, so that's the slowest tyre. 10th place for Danny F31. What about Jolly's teammate? He's on an outlap right now, and same with Clenzo. Speaking of Clenzo, here he is in the Alfa Romeo. Pretty much has been one of the best qualifiers of the season. He's really been upsetting the established order in Racing Formula League. Been qualifying well. Just needs to work on his race pace a little bit. But if he can do that, then he does truly have the pace. Got a yellow flag in Sector 3. I think someone, I don't know what's happened there, but I think someone just slowed down. Let's see, Clenzo's time, 52.3. And I think he's backed out. He's not using any ERS on the bottom right of your screen. He's backed out of that. So let's see if there's anyone else that's on a lap time. Nuthead in the Ferrari, 9 tenths quicker. Obviously, it's on the soft tyres. Goes a little bit wide there. In towards the final corner. doesn't use first though. That's a very interesting tactic from Nuthead. Here we go. Across the line goes Nuthead for a 1 minute 30.7, 1.3 seconds quicker, but not only good enough for 7th place. As Chandler, provisional pole position for the American, 129.5 for the Mercedes man, and for the man who's been on form ever since Monaco. It's looking good, Morgs, for a third consecutive pole position, I think.
Yep, it definitely is. I mean, it's not third consecutive pole position for Chandler. It's going to be third. Yeah. No, it's not. It's W. Verstappen's taken 2 poles in a row, with Chandler not actually getting poles so far this season. But he has taken 2 wins for Chandler in a row at the moment. So he's going for a 3rd win in a row. For the hat-trick is Chandler today. W. Verstappen in 5th place at the moment. He's going for 3 poles in a row, but he's going to want that win more than the pole positions. He's been a quick qualifier, but always somehow done something in the race to get rid of it. As Langman going off there, not sure whether that was a lock-up. He is 3 times up in the first sector, so he's backed off though. I don't think he is on a push lap. We'll see what he does into this corner, because we do need to make sure that he does not corner cut, because otherwise that will cause problems. As Ansma's at the moment, Langman is corner cutting, so we're gonna have to do it. Aiden's in, which is good. So BMG Nomad at the moment, he is on an in lap. I'm just looking who's actually on a lap at the moment. I don't think there's many people, but Danny F31 is one of the people on a lap at the moment. He's coming now in towards the middle sector, or the final sector actually, where you got this really tricky turn 11 and out towards the twisty final sector. That's a little bit of a wide run there, out of the turn 11, and that could be invalidation. But Danny still pushing, still going for the time, trying to maximise every corner, every little stretch of track he possibly can, as now in towards this left-hander. He's got a bit of traffic ahead, but it shouldn't affect him too much, as now around the final corner he goes, and towards the line comes Danny in the McLaren. Where can he put himself? Hard compound tyres, and it's the fastest hard compound runner in 10th position. It's Danny F31. Good lap at the moment, but he's still got a bit of work to do if he wants to get himself up higher up. But he is on the hard compound tyres. He's clearly going for strategy over speed.
Yeah, good point out that, Mo, says WR Verstappen is on the lap right now. Is exiting. Oh, again he goes a little bit wide. Again, just loses the apex there, and he goes way wide again, which I might have to clip that. And he goes, I'm gonna have to clip that, unfortunately. I think he might have backed out. He has backed out, so yep. WR Verstappen's lap has been ruined. Jack Sparr, his teammate, actually goes 7th place, I think, or is that just what was that time?
Yeah, he's just gone 7th place, which is good for him. Sparr shot, obviously he came 2nd in Azerbaijan after starting at the back, and that's his only entrance into the league, and he'll be hoping to have another good race today and maybe start a bit higher up. And at the moment, P7, not too bad from the Racing Point driver, who is now a full-time driver.
Yeah, Adam 45, 9 tenths quicker. Well, he's actually down now. Looking down 2 all seconds, so he's backed out again. Something must have happened. Must have went wide or lock up. Predator. AMS Predator in the Ferrari. Let's see what he can do. 1:31.3 on the mediums. And that's not bad. That's not bad. Pretty much just a 10th, just over a 10th behind Dutch Gamers Lars and then his teammate Xbox Nothead on the less durable tyres. And now Clan's out, coming out again for one final run, maybe. I think that's probably one final run. I don't think he has enough time to get 2 runs in if he wants to. Hopefully, he can get a lap on the board and make his presence known. But Chandler is in provisional pole position, but Jolly is going to fight him all the way. And if Jinx has something to say about it, maybe he could be the guy, or Langman as well. It would be good to see Langman get his first pole position in RFL history, I believe. As that's spot shot, just letting someone buy the Pepsi as well. And Pepsi all the way down in 17th. He's 7 times down. So just under 3.5 minutes to go. And it's time for the final shootout.
Yep, Langman's best qualifying, by the way, is 3rd position, which occurred in Monaco, so he'll be hoping to improve on that. He currently sits P4 at the moment, but only about 2 tenths away from pole position. As PR Pepsi comes in the pits, he might struggle to make another lap. Ian Boy about to start his lap, whilst Flying Rossi is on a lap at the moment. He's in towards the final section of the lap, but his tyres are about a lap old. Running a little bit wide there, but still pushing, still trying to save as much EOS as possible. As actually he comes into pits. Oh, that's running very, very wide as he comes into pits. That might have to be investigated. We'll have to see that. I'm not sure whether that's investigation worthy. Langman did just cut corners. And Smaz, what happened to him? Did you see?
No, I didn't see, unfortunately. I'm just trying to see what's happened. I don't know if that's just... I think it might have been a crash. I think he might have crashed somewhere. I don't know. I can't find him anywhere. Maybe. It's one of those
I see him.
where you...
I just saw him in the background. He was on the exit of about turn 7, really, on the inside. He must have lost it just onto the entrance of the Mr. Australia. I'm not really sure how that happened. Yep, he's lost it. He's now out the session. He will start P6 or lower today. So just a couple drivers on laps. You've got Ian Boy. He's now on the medium compound tyres. He is on a lap and through into towards the final sector he goes. So right on board with the McLaren driver. Currently, the fastest medium compound tyre run is a 1:31.3 by AMS Pred in the Ferrari. So can Ian Boyd challenge that time? His current best is that's a huge moment. That's not going to help his lap time at all in any way, because now he's going to have to really try and make up the time, fight the car as he is doing through these final corners, trying to gain any maximum lap time he can. And now out the final corner and towards the line comes Ian Boy, and across the line he comes. It's only 14th place for Ian Boy. And on the medium compound tyres, that's not a strong lap time. He'll be hoping for much more. As now around the final corner comes BMG Nomad. He's a 10th up on his personal best. Where will this put him? It stays in P8, but it's an improvement by 0.2 of a second. So not too bad by BMG Nomad, but no positions gained, which he'll be probably a bit disappointed about. Langman not on a lap at the moment. Well, he is on a lap actually, but not towards the end of it. Compared to someone like this man, AMS Pred, who is at the end of the lap. He's coming around the final corner. He's on the medium compound tyres, and he comes across the line, and he's P11. Just behind BMG Cleanso, who's actually just snuck into the top 10 there on medium compound tyres. Great lap there by the Alfa Romeo driver to sneak into the top 10 on those compound tyres.
Yeah, here we go. So Chandler is slightly quicker. The provisional pole position man is slightly quicker on his time now, but will it be enough to get pole position for the French Grand Prix?
Langman around the final corner. Langman around the final corner across the line. It's not an improvement from Langman. He stays 4th position. So it's really Chandler next out of the guys at the front of the field to set a lap. Everyone else is on an out lap or behind Chandler on track. So Chandler's the one to watch. He's only 100th of a second up in the final as they approach the final section of the lap. This might not be good enough, because although he's going to maintain provisional pole, he's going to come under threat from Jolly, who's actually a 10th down. But ILRT Jinx is actually 2 tenths up in the first sector alone. So actually, Jinx is the man who's threatening Chandler at the moment. But Chandler coming through the final corners, the final complex of the lap here. How can he do? How can he manage it? Can he just... a little lock up there on the right-hand side. But he's got through the corner okay. And now out the final corner. And across the line comes Chandler. It's an improvement by 0.05 of a second. So how's this going to stack up?
Jolly's 2 tenths quicker.
Yes, Jolly's 2 tenths quicker. Jinx has lost a bit of time in the middle sector. He's now only a 10.5 up. That might just be a bit nip and tuck if he can get a normal final sector. That's a huge moment there he had. That's not going to gain him any time at all through the final sector. WR Verstappen, how's he doing? He's doing okay at the moment. So it's really between 4 men. Jolly, Chandler, Jinx and Verstappen, and here comes Jinx as he comes now down towards the final corner and out across the finish line. It's P2 for Jinx, not P1. 1/10 up is Jolly as he now comes around towards the final corners. He's got a 10th and a bit to find, but he's only a 10th up at the moment, so he comes across the final corner, a bit wide as you mentioned, Tom, and across the line comes Jolly. Is this pole? No, it's not. He stays P3. Verstappen comes across the line. He's pole position at the moment. There's nobody else to challenge him except Althea Brumson, who's not got tyres to challenge. I'm not sure why Brumson qualified, but WR Verstappen takes his 3rd pole position in a row in RFL Season 4, alongside Chandler, the man who took his 2nd win in a row last time out, and he'll be hoping to challenge again ahead of Jolly and Jinx. Jinx making his debut and Jolly championship leader. This is a grid I am very excited to see. So you run through the results, Tom.
Yeah, you're damn right about that. WR Verstappen comes in clutch with the last minute pole position, just over a 10th quicker to his rival Chandler Sita. LRT Jinx, newcomer to RFL, in 4th, in 3rd place. Championship leader Jolly in 4th. Langman in 5th place. Look at the gap between Langman and Atmaz in P6th, just over 6 temps. Sparshot 7th, BMG Nomad in 8th, Dodge in 9th, and Adam in 10th, and Nuthead and Pepsi 11th and 12th. Cleanser and Pred 13th and 14th, and I didn't get through the rest of the grid, unfortunately. But WO Verstappen once again, another pole position for him. It's coming out clutch, and it looks like it's a dry race. I don't know if it's overcast weather or if it's just like, I don't know, but it's a dry race.
At the start, but then obviously, you know,
Yeah, as the race goes on.
As we saw in Tier 2, the mediums are so much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're about to ready up. Just waiting for the last few drivers to ready up.
Here we go.
And we're in,
The formation lap
which is
on.
good. So
Yep.
the formation lap, we're going to get
Here we
underway. WR Verstappen leads us from Chandler, from Jinx, from Jolly. And I'm just going to make my prediction. Now we're in. I'm going to say a bold call. I think the Sparshot from P7 is going to win this one. He showed some really good race pace in Azerbaijan, coming from the back to second. And I think he might well do the same today. But
yeah,
obviously it's going to be one long, one hectic race. And I think anything can happen in RFL. But I think any of the top 7 have a chance of getting involved in the front scrap. I doubt BMG Nomad can, but again, he showed some good pace last week. Dutch Gamer Lars, same goes for him, but Adam sure had some good race pace. So if he can get clear the 2 ahead, he could well get involved, but we'll have to see what his race pace is like. He finished 5th last week, actually, from the back of the grid, so obviously. And then Xbox Nuthead, first car mediums, what can he do? I think this grid's a bit wrong, actually. I don't think... we'll have a look. Is the grid wrong? It might not be. I don't think it was.
No.
I'll have a look now. Because I have got a grid with me. Oh no, it's correct. Don't worry, it's correct.
Yeah, it's correct. Yeah, so we've got 5 drivers starting on the medium tyres, and 1, 2, 3. So we've got 5 on the mediums and 5 on the hards in the reverse strategy. And then the top 10 are all on softs. This could be an interesting race here, because knowing how durable and how good the medium tyres are, we could see a bit of an upset here. We actually could see maybe Nuthead, or even Predator, or Clenzo, or even Danny take victory here in France. That could be a massive shock, even, but Danny is on the harder tyre, so the first 2-3 laps might not be good for his overall pace as well. Watch out for Active Beacon. He hasn't had a good season, even though he won he came close to winning in Bahrain. Tio Pepsi as well. Also Dutch Laws, Nomad, Sparshot, Atman as well, and then Jolly in 4th place. Pretty much anyone in the top 10 could win, and maybe even the safety car could affect drivers from 11 all the way down to 17 or 18. But Morgs, it's time to get racing.
Yep, so WR Verstappen lines up on pole position ahead of Chandler, and it's the 2 probably rivals from the last 2 races on the front row together. There's been a little rivalry going on between these 2, and another chapter is about to unfold, but Jolly now has got the opportunity to get involved in this, as well as the new boy, ILRT Jinx. We're about to get underway. All 20 drivers are on the grid and ready to go racing here in France. The lights are coming on now ahead of the drivers. Verstappen on pole, Chandler in second. Who will lead into turn 1 and who will win France? We're away in RFL France. A good start by Verstappen, but a better one by Chandler. But I think Verstappen's got to run down towards turn 1 to hold it in. As look at Langman trying to make a move up into 3rd place already. As Verstappen holds the lead. Jinx trying to get out through there. He holds the position. Jolly running off the track as Langman drops to 5th position. Ansmaz holds P6 ahead of Sparshot, ahead of Nomad, ahead of Adam, ahead of Pred, who's made a couple positions in the start. Clenzo as well. Tio Pepsi's dropped to the back of the grid along with Nuthead, who's made a mistake as well. But Verstappen leads the pack as they head down the Minster Straight for the first time. Ahead of Chandler, who's under pressure from Jinx already in the Toro Rosso. Jinx making his debut today. Pepsi's picking up a time penalty already, but Jinx has got a run on Chandler as now towards the Minster chicane they go. Verstappen still leads, and then here comes Jinx. Is he going to go? Is he going to go to the inside? No, he doesn't. But Chandler had a little look down the inside of Verstappen, but nothing can be done. Verstappen, Chandler, and then Jinx.
Yeah, the first corner is what we talked about and how, effective it could be. There was more contact. T.R. Pepsi has got damage to his front wing, and that's his race surely all over there. And Knothead as well, he's dropped massively. He might have front wing damage. I'm not really sure. He might have taken it too cautiously. Danny as well in P13 as well. Also, there's a bit of a contact. Spar. Jack Spar's gone. He's fine. I think he's got damage, I think. Let's see. Does he have damage? I can't. No, he doesn't actually. I don't think. Who's got damage there? I think someone. It might be Cleanser. I'm not sure. Cleanser being hounded here by Active Beacon. Beacon trying to go around the outside. Is it Beacon? No, Beacon's gone wide, and now he's lost position to. Yeah, he's lost position to Spar Shot. But WR Verstappen leads from Chandler Sita, and then LRT Jinx, and then Jolly in 4th place. And then Langman in 5th. Amaz, I thought he had a good start as well. Let's see the position changes for these drivers. So Nomad's made 1.
He's doing nothing, yeah.
Yeah, Nomad's made 1. Adam 2. Predator 5 positions so far in the first lap as well. Spot Shot's down 4. Beacons 4. Flying Rossi 6 positions. Great start by the Williams driver. And now it's just a matter of how long can the tyres last?
Yep, obviously Morton's keeping an eye on the tyres. Pred now leads the battle of the medium runners and potentially the battle for the win, because you never know, those softs might not stick. As Jinx has got a run on Chandler out of the Mistral chicane. Chandler's going defensive down towards turn 10, but I don't think a move's going to come until turn 11. So Chandler's going to take now the racing line along with Jinx, who's actually got a better run out of turn 10, but not enough to mount a challenge unless Jinx can slide it up the inside, which he had a look about doing, had a think about doing it, but decides against it. It's only lap 2, remember, and there's a long way to go yet, and a lot of pit stops to be made for all of these drivers yet.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if these two battle, Jinx and Chandler, the man to watch out for is Jolly. This is a position that he loves to be in, just waiting just to try and pick apart these drivers, especially if one of them makes a mistake or goes wide or just makes a move that they shouldn't really make. This is Jolly's race to win, made no mistake about it, as Verstappen fast up in the race on 34.4 as well. Jolly slowly following them as well. The gap between Jolly and Langman is stark. Oof, bit of lock up there. Langman goes a little bit wide. And let's see, Jinx now all over. Chandler, let's see what's going on in the midfield here.
Oh, Verstappen made a mistake! Oh! Verstappen's made a mistake. He's just lost loads of time to Chandler and Jinx. He ran out wide towards turn 4, I think it was. And now he's under pressure from all of the top 4 here. Chandler's going to be the first one to be given an opportunity, and with DRS enabled as well, this surely is going to be Chandler's for the taking. But look at Jinx as well, he can get involved with Verstappen. But Verstappen defending the inside, Chandler going to the inside as well, and Chandler's got the position, but he's gone out wide, and now Verstappen trying to make a move around the outside. And he's come back, and look at them making contact there, wheel banging, and now Chandler down to P2 again. Verstappen takes back the lead, but on the run down towards turn 10 and 11, is it possible Chandler to try and maybe fight back, or Jinx to maybe even get involved? Jinx going to the outside of Chandler, but Jinx cannot make any sort of move, locking up there a little bit, and now Jolly's trying to slip down the inside of Jinx, and he's done so. Very, very opportunistic from Jolly, and very nicely done as well. And now Langman getting down the inside of turn 12 on Jinx. Jinx is falling back at the moment, and Ansmaz could well have an opportunity here to get past Jinx as well. As down towards turn 14 they go. As look at Jolly on Chandler as well. Jolly down the inside of Chandler. They've been contacted, and Chandler's been forced into the pits.
He's got damage.
And now Ansmaz down the inside of Langman. It's all kicking off in the top 6 here as Chandler is in the pits. Jolly's up to P2, Langman's up to P3, Jinx in P4 and Ansmaz in P5, but Ansmaz got a run on Jinx. To the inside he goes, as Ansmaz to the inside, he's got the position, no he hasn't got the position, and he stays in P5.
Wow.
Yeah, did Chandler not have damage there? He did not change his front wing.
No, I was missed. That was my bad. He didn't have damage. Just came in to change tyres. I don't know why. After lap 4 of all laps, to come in and change the tyres, unless he has got like minor damage and the team can't change it. If that's the case, that's a disastrous race. That's a disastrous start for wait, who is that again? I can't.
Chandler.
Yeah, Chandler. Yeah, look, he's down in 19th position. He's on the hard tyres, so he's going to take those to the end of the race. But Verstappen as well, Jolly, this is what I've been talking about as well. All he needs is just one opening, one mistake, and then he's all over you and boom, he's overtaking you. And Langman as well. And also Atmaz was also in the mix before everything happened in Sector 3 as well. Now Adam trying to make a move on BMG Nomad. Can he make it in towards the long right hander? No, he can't. But control is breaking there. Very well dives on the inside, but there's no gap there for Adam. And now look at this Predator down the inside in towards long left hander, and that is the move done for the Ferrari man. And the Ferrari team are going to be very happy with Predator. Now he's the lead runner on the mediums, and surely if things go his way, he could get a podium or maybe even the win.
Yep, but I'm just thinking maybe Chandler pitted for tactical reasons. Obviously, with all the battling out in front, maybe he thought trying to pit then would be the best thing to do, get out of the way. As Pred goes to the inside of Nomad, he's going to get P6 now, and he has got P6 ahead of the Mercedes driver, and the Ferrari man is on a prowl here. He's really climbing through the order very, very quickly and very efficiently as well. So,
look at the gap between
very
second
nice
and fourth. That's only, what, 3-4 car lengths? And Langman, if he gets a good exit, could have a go at Jolly here, but it's all about, I don't think he's close enough though. See how quick that Red Bull is. It's quick, but not quick enough to get past Jolly in towards the chicane. It's very wide. They both go a little bit wide as well. Let's see if Jinx has anything to say about it. He's trying to find some space, maybe an opening or something, I'm not sure. As Danny gets past Sparshot as well, and Sparshot has been mugged off twice by the Renault and also the McLaren Renault, so it's not going to not being a good day for a Sparshot in the Racing Point. Tries to go around the outside, but can't do it, and his tyres are slowly starting to fade away. And Rossi is now all over Sparshot as well as we approach the end of lap number 5. Jolly's going a little bit wide there, and maybe if Langman can get a good exit. I don't think he can though. It is close. Could he maybe overtake Jolly here? See, Langman tries.
Langman.
Yep, Jolly defends. Here comes Langman on the inside, and that is one of the easiest passes where he holds it. Jolly holds it around the outside, and Jolly retains second place, but Langman is still all over him like a rash. In towards second chicane here, and Langman might have to go defensive. Yeah, and there we go, second place, money in the bank for Langman. Second place is Jinx as well. Tries to go down the inside. Look at this beautiful helicopter shot that I have for all 4 drivers. Let's see if Jinx has a good exit. He does have a good exit, but Jolly is rapid on the main straights. And let's see if Jinx can catch him. He can't though, because Jolly is so quick on those straights, but he is catching slightly. It's not enough though. Is Jolly very close there between him and Jolly, and also Langman as well. Langman didn't seem to have the... Oh, Pepsi!
Oh,
Pepsi's gone.
Pepsi.
Pepsi's gone. Where's that? I'm not sure. Maybe
He's
there's
in the final sector. He was running last anyway.
Yeah.
As Jolly now to the outside of turn 11. Is he going to make
He
a move?
tries to
Langman
back.
locks up. And now on the switchback, can Jolly get down the inside? No, he can't.
No,
And
can't.
Langman holds his own, trying to make sure he does not give any quarters to Jolly, as W. Verstappen really begin to pull away here. That battle on lap 3 or 4 really benefited him hugely, as I thought he was about to dive in the pits there. Any driver's going to dive in the pits. Langman dives into the pits.
Langman's
but
a penalty.
5-second time penalty. Quick steam track limits. Ansmaz has also come into the pits.
Oh yeah, Jolly as well.
So Jolly is now P2. Jinx is now P3. Pred on the mediums is now P4 ahead of Cleanser on the mediums.
Oh, his team are ready for him.
In P5.
Langman's team are ready for him. Oh, that's cost him seconds. And he's going to do the Sparkle penalty as well. Oh, is that a glitch? Is that a glitch? I'm not sure, but what I see
no,
was
he's come
his
out.
team went...
He's not, isn't it? He's come out behind a lot of drivers here. Nomad,
yeah, Adam as well.
Ansmaz and Adam as well. Yeah, so Langman's really suffered there from that little incident or problem there. But just to mention, Chandler is in the net race lead with his pace at the moment. He's 23.5 off the lead, and just came out the pits about 5 seconds clear of Ansmaz, who was about 3 seconds off the lead when he pitted. So Chandler is definitely in the net race lead as it stands, but obviously there is a long way to go, as Pred and Jinx are battling, as Jinx being forced off the track and Pred also being forced off the track, but Pred has got the position. Very nicely done there by Pred, but obviously unfortunately we didn't see the full overtake there. And now Pred's next target is Jolly in P2, and Pred, fastest man on circuit except for Chandler at the moment. He's doing really well.
Yeah, Predator is doing really well. This is the laps that count now for the Ferrari man. If he wants to win this race, as Pepsi leaves the session, and it'll be a race to forget for the Haas driver. Let's see if Jolly pits this lap. No, he doesn't. He stays out as the race leader. WR Verstappen in the Racing Point comes in for his probably one and only stop of the hard tyres. So Jolly takes the lead, and then Pred is in second place, net race lead after Jolly pits. But now these are laps for Pred that really matter, especially laps 8, 9 and 10 when his tyres really start to go off. But now it's all about consistency and who will break first when it comes to time penalties and track extends. Let's see where WR Verstappen comes out, and he comes out 13th.
Will it be ahead or behind Verstappen, behind Chandler?
Behind.
Chandler's going to get him. Chandler has got him, but on 4 lap older tyres, how long will that last? But the Mercedes driver is ahead of the net race leader, but obviously Pred is going to be one to watch in the late stages. Here comes Pred now on Jolly in the Williams. He's coming, he moves to the inside, and this is going to be an easy move here for Pred, and he's up into the lead. It's a Ferrari driver, and the Italian, for the Italian team, leads this race in France.
Yeah, Pred showing his real pace here. If he can just pull away from Jolly, and plus you've got a 2.2 second gap to Clenzo, who's on the same tyres, same lifespan. So if Predator can just pull away slightly, that'll do his race wonders of good. Because remember as well, the race leaders have got to get through all this traffic as well when they catch up to Chandler. When he catches up to everyone else, he'll have to overtake them, and that's going to cost him time as well. And WR Verstappen as well, he's being hounded he's hounding Chandler right now. Let's see if there's anything going on here. Obviously Verstappen's still chasing him as let's see, so Jinx is pit after 8 laps, 8 to 7 laps. He's finally pit, and let's see what he pits on. Is it going to be the mediums, or is it going to be the hard tyres for the top Ross guy? Chandler has a penalty, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That's going to really affect his race. And is that the hard tyres? Yes, it is. So Chandler, there goes Chandler and WR Verstappen, and I think Atmaz will pass him as well. Just about. Got to be careful. Oh, that's close. That's close between. I really don't like that pit exit, especially it's just dangerous as well. But anyway, Jinx comes out just behind Atmaz, and this battle between Chandler and Verstappen as well. This is technically for the race lead, since both of them have made their first pit stops as well. So let's see, Nutter has passed a Sport Shot as well. That's for 9th place, excuse me. Let's see if Verstappen can get past Chandler. He's getting closer. Can he get close enough? He was trying to go around the outside there, but he just didn't have enough road to try and make the move stick. Let's see, doesn't get the best exit though. Langman's got past Adam as well, in towards the chicane as well. And WR Verstappen just can't get past Chandler. So at the beacon, he's 3 attempts behind.
Jolly in.
Dolly, and yes, Jolly is in for his stop. So this is the point of the race that's critical. Where is Jolly going to be as far as this battle with WR Verstappen and Chandler and Jinx as well, and maybe even Langman as well? He's already fallen to 6th place, and is he going to go on the hard tyres as well like everyone else? The mediums. Is that mediums? Mediums.
That's the mediums.
Wow. Okay,
so Jolly's very aggressive strategy. Or is he going to go 1 stop? We could well see, because he's taken those softs a long distance in the race, and also a Spar Shot on the mediums. Are we seeing a contra strategy for Jolly and Spar Shot, one which is risky but could pay off in the long run, and something that really could benefit both of them?
Maybe Jolly's praying for a safety car maybe to come out. I'm not sure, or maybe he knows something that we don't about the weather. Well, obviously the weather's not even a question, so I pretty much forget that. But anyway, look at Jinx all over Atmaz, and now Jolly's going to follow him. It might be 3 wide, entering the chicane here. Jolly tries to go around the outside. Can he make the move stick? Around the outside he goes. Oh, what a move that is by the championship leader. And that is a great move by Jolly, who's overtaking Jinx, and now he's got his rivals Chandler and Verstappen just up the road. And Jolly is technically in an FP3, and he's still in for a chance of winning this race. as Pred is around the final corner, and Pred starts lap number 11 of the French Grand Prix. Beacon is now hounding Danny at 31, still on the same tyres though. So let's see. Actually, no, Danny's on 10-lap-year-old mediums or hards, and Active's on 10-lap-year-old mediums. So yeah, two different tyres, but same lifespan. And I think the mediums are starting to work now, since they're the more durable tyre. Nuthead all over F1 Aiden can't make any move, and WR Verstappen is still chasing down Chandler for the net race lead when everyone else pits. This is the most crucial part of the race. Chandler could hold up Verstappen for Jolly to catch, or maybe just create enough of a gap that Pred somehow retains the lead legit in this French Grand Prix. Onto the DRS. He goes really defensive here. There's Jinx on a penalty as well. That's not going to be good for him. Can Verstappen catch Chandler? No, he can't. They might be running very low wings on the front. He's also running no ERS as well. Now he bumps up to 3. That's high. Still nothing. Chandler's also in the same ERS setting as well, so see what happens. Beacon still all over Danny at 31. No way through for the Renault driver.
Yep, so at the moment, obviously, as we mentioned, Pred leads. He's probably in about a net P4 because just looking at the gaps here, maybe even falling into net P5 now as he is losing time to the to the pit stop pack, really, if you could call it.
Yeah.
But Danny, at the moment, being hounded by Beacon, as Beacon, who's had a rotten season so far, is having a decent race so far this time, and he goes to the inside of the McLaren driver, but can't make a move as Jinx. That's the fastest lap of this race so far, and now to the inside of turn 5 he goes, and he makes contact with Danny, but that damage. I don't think it is, as now Danny round the outside of turn 7 and up down the straight, and to Beacon holds the position, but now Danny has slipstream, and DRS, he's going to try and fight back down towards the Mistral chicane, and now to the outside comes Danny. Is he going to be able to hold it? He can hold it. A great move there by Danny to get the position back.
Switch back.
Antiv's not done yet, and he's going to try and find any way he can past. As now on the slipstream with with slipstream and ERS. He goes around the outside of turn 10, which now he's going to turn to the inside of turn 11 and holds it on the inside, is like what Jolly did to Jinx before. And is it going to be what Antiv does to Danny? No, it's not. Danny holds the position, and Antiv Beacon is not falling down, but struggling to get past the McLaren driver, who's on a completely different strategy and not what Antiv Beacon wants to be doing right now. As Clenzo pits.
And Clenzo does pit as well. That was a bit of a silly move there by Active Beacon, risking damage for this race. I don't know why he didn't wait until the main straight. Maybe Danny just had low wings and he knew he could catch him or something. I just thought that was a bit of a silly move there by Active Beacon, to try and just force a move instead of naturally let it progress and then just make one of it when it happens. Clenzo has pitted, so he's in 10th, 11th, maybe 12th place, and he will be behind Atmaz. Let's see, he is behind his teammate, maybe Langman. No, he's not. He's actually ahead. He's actually ahead of that pack between Langman and Adam and Sparshot as well, so that's really important for Clenzo, as Adam gets a penalty for multiple warnings. Let's see, Ian Boy, pretty much Chandler's overtaken Ian Boy, and now Jolly, might be Jolly's turn. He's still a bit too far back though, unless nope. Langman's from a penalty as well, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and let's see what happens here. WR Verstappen also has a penalty as well, so so we're getting to the part of the race now where all these drivers are struggling for track consistency when it comes to warnings and penalties, and most of these drivers are starting to get it now, and track penalties will play a factor as to who wins this race between Verstappen and Chandler, and maybe even Jolly in the next couple of laps. Langman has gone past Clenzo, or I see the side-by-side into the long right-hander, very close there, and Clenzo is still side-by-side. Clenzo and Langman Lineman tries to go around the outside. Multiple lines you can take through there. Is Danny Pitts. Danny and Active Beacon have
Danny and
pitted.
Active.
And now the battle comes to the pit stops. Active Beacon comes out. Where does Danny come out? Comes out slightly ahead again. Good job there.
Oh,
by
Langman
Renault.
just went down the inside of the final corner. I completely cut away and I saw Langman go for the move, and he's got the move done. And with the DOS down the main straight, he holds the position as Danny is ahead of Ante Beacon as they exit the pits. They come out P14 and P15 respectively, but there's a long way to go yet. And Clenzo with a penalty, yep. Not good for his race, but Pred still continues to lead. He's 10.6 ahead of Flying Rossi, who's yet to stop as well, with Elsia Bunsen also yet to stop, and same with X6F on Aiden. But WR Verstappen is in 5th position. He is the net race leader, but he has stopped in this race, and Chandler has also stopped. He's in P6 and fallen behind, and keeps falling behind. WR Verstappen is really now beginning to pull away into a comfortable lead, but Pred is a man to watch, because Pred is yet to pit. He showed really good pace in the first stint, and on a fresh set of potentially soft compound tyres, which he could go on to if he can stretch the tyres, he will be very fast, but we'll have to see how long he stays out. He stays out for one more lap at least, so he's going to go on to lap 15 on the set of medium tyres. But will he go eventually on to the soft compound tyres?
There is a chance that he could go on the soft compound tyres. He's going to really majorly stretch out these tyres. The mediums won't last until lap 19 or something, or like 18 when they eventually pop. So pretty much, usually everyone, the medium runners pit around about what, 17 or 18 or even 20 if they can. Let's see, where does Rossi come out as? Look at that, that's Jinx overtaking Ian Boy down around the outside, and Jinx, good move there. And now Rossi, where's he come out? He comes out just behind Beacon, and also Aiden is in as well.
Jolly's on the back of Chandler though for a net P2 as it stands. They're both 19 seconds off the lead, so don't count out Pred from getting in. Beacon gets a penalty, but don't count Pred out for coming into this battle later on. For now, it's Jolly versus Chandler, and a brilliant run there for Jolly means that this job is very easy, and he gets up into P4 there, does Jolly, ahead of Chandler Saita 1, who is now dropped down to P5 in the Mercedes car. The man who's won 2 races in a row doesn't look like he's going to win his 3rd today, but there is still a lot of time left to go in this race. And do you want to check the penalties of Pred, Verstappen and Jolly and Chandler, please? They're the main 4 in this race, I'd say.
Pred does have 1.
For winning it. Pred doesn't have 1.
Nope, Verstappen has 1. Jolly has 1 and 1 warning. Chandler has a penalty as well. Jinx has 2 penalties as well, so that's very interesting. So pretty much Pred could legit win this race based on penalties if Jolly and Chandler continue to be naughty and gain the penalties. Pred can legit win this race.
Yeah, but when he's got to make sure he gets the strategy right if Jolly sits fast up on this race, because Jolly, don't count him out. He's going to be old on tyres towards the end of this race, but at the moment his tyres are perfect for taking him to the lead in this race, but the tyre drop-off around here can be huge. At the moment, Pred still continues to lead this race, but when is he going to pit? When is the right time to pit? And will it mean that he can carry on to take the win of this race? SL Rampage pointing out in the chat, he thinks that the man in the lead, Pred, has stayed out for too long. Lap 16 and 27, he goes into hards, he's only got 11 laps on them, so is it even worth that? He's probably trying to stretch it to go onto the soft compound tyres and then have a quick final stint. But is that going to be a huge risk? Because then Verstappen, Jolly and Chandler are always closing in that gap all the time, and it's just making your job harder and harder every single lap you stay out.
Yeah, Danny's just overtaken Adam for P11. So Danny's on the charge right now. He's just got past Adam, and also he fought off Active Beacon, and now Clenzo is next on his hit list as well. But when will Pred pit as well for fresh? You've got to think at this point it's got to be fresh softs, but the softs don't last that long. Maybe 8-9 laps, but maximum as well. Broomson as well. He's on the medium tyre as well. He's fallen off dramatically here. Obviously, lap on. And now WR Verstappen is slowly catching Broomson as well, and Jolly as well. And Atmaz slowly catching the Ian Boy as well, less than a second separate the two. Atmaz has, what is that? That is 6 lap younger tyres towards Ian Boy. And Clenzo chasing down Atmaz, and I say that Danny as well. Danny's closed the gap significantly. Closed the gap significantly to Clenzo. He's trying to look Danny inside. Is Danny, and Danny F31 is in the points here at the French Grand Prix. Good overtake there from Danny, and now he's going to try and get Langman next, and it might be a matter of time before Ian Boy and Atmaz are next. Speaking of Atmaz, could this be an overtake for 7th, maybe? Let's see, he's getting closer, and pretty much that is money in the bank for Errol Atmaz into 7th place for the Alfa Romeo driver. And now Atmaz hopefully can be set free. Oh, there goes Jack Spa. Oh, what's happened to Spa shot there? I think he lost control of the car. He lost control of the car there. And man, I don't know what happened there between him and Jolly. Oh, not Jolly, Flying Rosary there. He lost the back end massively.
Oh, Langman, what's happened to
Langman?
Langman stopped on turn 11. He must have had a spin and reset the track because he was virtually stopped there. So a lot of drivers now beginning to really struggle in this race. Maybe it's on tyres, maybe they're just struggling for pace at the moment and pushing too hard. But Langman, who's running in a good points now, has dropped out of that, and he's now down to P13. AMS Pred still leads though, and he is ahead of Bumson by 13.3 seconds. That gap is beginning to close, and the gap between Verstappen and himself is really beginning to shut down now. Very, very quickly, as Nuthead is having problems of his own. I think he's dropped down behind Aiden and has got a problem, it seems, as he's dropping down dramatically. But Verstappen now just 14.9 away from the lead, but Jolly just behind that as well, 15.1 away from the lead and only 6 tenths away from Verstappen. And this could well be an opportunity, maybe not down this straight into the chicane, but maybe a bit further on. And actually, he's catching Jolly. No, he doesn't. He decides against going for a move at this stage. As now on the exit of turn 9 and down towards turn 10. Maybe with a slipstream he'll be able to make a challenge down towards turn 10 and in towards turn 11. As no, he can't make a move into turn 10. And then on the exit of turn 10, down towards turn 11, he goes to the inside. Verstappen versus Jolly. Jolly on the inside, Verstappen on the outside. Is there going to be contact there? They're pushing each other so hard, trying to give each other no courses at all. And Verstappen on the inside of turn 12, he holds the position. Jolly has to settle for P4 for a little bit longer. With Bumson coming into this battle, this could mean that Verstappen will be able to hold his ground for a little bit longer, because he'll pick up DRS and slipstream from Bumson ahead in the Haas.
Yeah, Ian Boy's just went wide. Then here comes Clenzo down the inside in towards the penultimate corner. Can he make the move stick? Yes, he can. Clenzo forces him wide. Forced Ian Boy wide, and Ian Boy has to pit after 17 lap-year-old tyres as well. Bit of contact there between who's that? Active Beacon and Spar Shot as well. I don't know what happened there. But Rosary trying to get past Langman here. Langman goes defensive, clean around the outside maybe, and the Williams man around the outside of Langman gets the job done. Yellow flag in sector 3. Active Beacon has retired.
Yep, so Antibeacon out again. You just cut out there, Tom. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, Antibeacon now out again, really, you could say now, because he's retired a lot so far this season. He had such a good start as well. He was the man that we thought could well challenge Jolly. It just hasn't turned out that way for him. He's now had his it's actually first DNF of the season, but it feels like he's had a rotten season so far.
Yeah,
much more rotten than that, as Verstappen on the back of Bumson and Jolly on the back of Verstappen, but Verstappen's even closer to Bumson than Jolly is to Verstappen, as Verstappen pressurising Bumson through that corner, trying to find a way past the Haas driver, but there's no way through those corners there, as Pred finally pits on lap 19 of this race, and now has his contra strategy, his risky strategy, paid off, or will it backfire? As now Verstappen still on the back of Bumson, trying to find a way past as they head towards the final corner. Jolly on the back of this pack as well, so it's a three-way battle, but now they're a race lead, but Bumson not really in the in this battle, as now Bumson leads, but Verstappen goes to the inside of turn 1, and Verstappen takes the lead of this race, and now he's got just a moment really to try and pull away from Bumson before Jolly gets past and then can launch a challenge on Verstappen. And here comes Jolly now down
Oh!
the inside towards turn 4. And he's getting the move done. He's got the move done. A little bit of a corner cut there, but he's got the position and he's up to P2. A good move there by Jolly. And now he can challenge Verstappen, who's 6 tenths ahead as they head onto the Mistral straight once again and in towards the chicane. And this is Volley Jolly's best opportunity yet, because Verstappen has no slipstream or DRS ahead, but the gap is quite big, so maybe it's a bit difficult for Jolly to get close. But I mean, you never know, as a good run for the Mistral chicane could mean that Jolly set up very, very nicely. You can see how close he is in towards the chicane now, and out of the chicane with a bit more traction on those medium compound tyres. You can see Jolly potentially mount a challenge down towards turn 11, but it looks like he's a bit too far back. And through turn 10 we go. It looks like Jolly has got a better run, and to the inside it goes. Verstappen holding it around the outside. This is those carbon copy of what happened a few minutes ago, but Jolly's made contact with Verstappen, and Jolly's been forced off wide, and now Brumson swoops into the inside and takes P2 back. But Jolly on the inside there of turn 12, he's going to try and hold this position away from Brumson. A bit of contact between them both, but it looks like Brumson is going to take P2, but he's going to pit surely very soon. He has pit now, and Jolly is back released into P2 again. And at the moment, Pred is just 7.9 off the lead and closed significantly there in the last few moments.
Yeah, Adam made contact right there. I think it was with Wangman. He's dropped a whole bunch of positions. I think he's got damage from wing. And Adam's race, he's got no front wing left. It's been a horror race for Adam 45 in the Toro Rosso. Pretty much Pred, when he came out the pits, he nearly made contact with Atmaz there. That could have been real dangerous between him and Pred. But now Pred pretty much has, 6 laps to pass Jinx, Chandler, Jolly and Verstappen and literally win this race. Is it possible? Maybe.
Well, you said that Pred has no penalties. I haven't seen him pick up one since. Whilst all the actually have one penalty. So Pred really only needs to catch up to Chandler and pass him, and then he's in range of attacking and winning this race as he's catching up to ILRT Jinx, who is making his debut today. A very solid debut from the Toro Rosso driver, who currently runs P4, but that's not going to last for long, because look at who's coming. It's the Ferrari man of AMS Pred, as Jolly is catching back up the WR Verstappen, but with those tyres getting older and older every lap compared to those hards, is it too little too late for the Williams driver of Jolly? I think it may well be.
Yeah, we don't know yet until the very end. Chandler, 17 lap old mediums. I mean, I don't know what's going through Jolly's mind right now, if he wants to stick it to the end or pit for softs. I mean, surely it's too late to pit now. And it's a lose-lose situation for Chandler at this point. If he pits now, he's going to lose positions, but if he stays out, he's going to lose positions and potentially get a puncture, and that will be his race all over. As Pred fast off of the race on 32.7 as he gets past Jinx there.
Jinx.
Yep. And the prancing horse, the charge is on, and the race for Ferrari's first win, I think, this season could happen if Pred keeps his pace up for only 5 more laps. The podium is definitely looking very good right now for Pred. Let's see, Danny as well. Sposhok gets a penalty.
Yep. Pred took 1.7 seconds out the leader, WR Verstappen, on that last lap alone, so at the moment, at the current pace, he will be in range to attack at the end of this race, not only on track, but after penalties as well, which is probably more crucial for Pred. He wants to win this race, and he'll do that in any way possible, and at the moment it looks very, very possible. But here's Jolly. This could really help Pred as well if these two battle, Jolly and Verstappen. I think Jolly is a bit too far back to challenge this time round, but next time round, there will be a battle, and there will be there will be a close racing side-by-side action between them both. Hopefully we see no contact, which spins them both off.
Yep.
But I mean, that will really provide a twist to this race, but maybe it would gift Pred the win at that point. Do you want to double check that Pred hasn't got a penalty? I didn't actually check. I checked his lap time, but I didn't actually check whether he got a penalty, which is a bit stupid of me.
Yeah, okay. So, right, Pred, we got 2 warnings. Nothing else. He's only got 2 warnings. That's it. He's not on a penalty.
And then what about Verstappen and Jolly? Is actually, just going to interrupt you there, Jolly is coming down towards turn 1 now. He's a bit too far back, so yeah, so I'll check Verstappen and Jolly just quickly, please.
Yeah, Verstappen's got a penalty, and Jolly has a penalty and 2 warnings. So both men are on the edge of getting a second penalty, and that could really ruin their race here in the French Grand Prix. Jolly could get a good exit here. He might He might get a good exit. He just can't get a good exit compared to WR Verstappen as well. Even on.
This has actually been.
Yeah.
Sorry, this has actually been the closest he's been though. In any situation we've seen, and he's catching. You can see here the
Not
straight line
close enough,
speed there,
though.
but he's a bit too far back into the chicane. But now, as we've seen twice now, he's got a good run from here through turn 10 and down towards the hairpin. He could well make a move. There's now 4.9 is the gap between Pred and the leader. But here comes Jolly. He's catching up to Verstappen, and Verstappen is going to have to do something to defend. But is Jolly going to get a good run through turn 10? No, he doesn't.
He's not
and
going
then
to
through turn 11, there's nothing that Jolly can do this time round, unlike the last two times where he made a challenge onto Verstappen. But Verstappen having to go defensive and play it cautiously to avoid losing the position to Jolly, which is very, very possible at this stage of the race.
Yeah, Jolly is on no ERS, so he's saving ERS. He doesn't want to overtake him until either this straight or the main straight, if he can get a good exit. But just the thing with Verstappen, he gets a good exit and then on a straight line, he's just so rapid. Especially, he must be running like low wings or something. Maybe like low front wing or something, because his pace on the straights is really quick. But here comes Jolly. He won't overtake there, of course. I think he's saving all of his ERS energy for the main start straight, as Pred is now hounding Chandler for the third step of the podium. And I think Pred, the sensible thing to do is to wait until the main straight. And I think Chandler might get a puncture here. I'm not sure. It's 20 laps in, got 3 more laps to go, and apparently the hard tyres only last 22 laps. So I can definitely see.
Just quickly watch Jolly though, because he's got a good chance now on WR Verstappen. Look at him weaving. Verstappen going left to right to left, because he wants to make sure Jolly doesn't get past it. Around the outside goes Jolly into the chicane, but Verstappen holds his ground and holds the position, but then runs out wide and has to cut the corner. No penalty for him. Pred's got past Chandler, by the way, so Pred's now released, but Verstappen and Jolly battling side by side as they head now down towards turn 10 and in towards turn 11. Jolly's got up to the outside line, therefore look better run through turn 10, and now on the inside comes Jolly in towards turn 11, trying to get contact, and Jolly's made contact. Round goes Jolly, but he's not too round, and he's still in range of attack to WR Verstappen. 3.1 is a gap behind to Pred from the leader, so Pred is now almost within penalty range and therefore almost within race winning range. He is now within race winning range. 2.9 seconds is the gap, but obviously those tyres will go off towards the end of the stint, and that could mean that he will fall out of that range, but he's got 3 laps to hold on to it. He's just got to stay within 3 seconds, but if these two keep battling as they are, that should be a pretty easy task.
Yeah, I just recorded that to make sure if anything happens there. I don't know if anything's going to happen with WR Verstappen cutting that corner. You could see he gained an advantage or maybe maintained first place when he should have given the position to Jolly. I don't know how it works, but pretty much there was contact again. And I don't know how Jolly doesn't have damage to his front wing. He's so lucky, Jolly, especially when he's in wheel-to-wheel combat, that he doesn't have damage. But every time he battles WR Verstappen, every time he wants to overtake him, he's losing time, especially to Pred. 0.6 seconds now behind Jolly, and that's probably under 3 seconds. Yeah, just at 2.5. So pretty much Pred could legit win this race if everything goes his way. But Jolly, it's not looking good for Jolly or Verstappen right now, as Jolly goes a little bit wide again on the exit of the chicane. Doesn't get a good run in towards the second straight. Let's see what else is happening right now. So all eyes are on the top 3. And who is going to win the French Grand Prix? Verstappen, Jolly or Pred. Any one of the 3 could take it. And it'll take one mistake and everything could happen.
Yeah, Pred obviously only 1 warning away from a penalty, and that will change the complexity of this race. So he's still pushing to make sure he catches up, because if he makes a mistake, all those tyres go off, his race winning chances are over. But he is in the perfect position at the moment. He is the man looking likely to take this win, as Jolly on the back of Verstappen once again, as Jolly makes a little mistake on the exit, lost a bit of traction there, but he still maintains straight line speed, and Jolly, although catching up on the straight, isn't able to make a challenge down towards turn 1, and Verstappen holds his ground and holds the lead still as they head now onto lap 26 to 27, the penultimate lap of the race. And I think it's time for the if you're in the chat, who's driver of the day? I think Pred has really got to be on your list. He's doing brilliantly so far, but there's still 1.5 laps to go. Jolly picked up a penalty. Jolly has picked up another penalty, and therefore his race winning chances are all but over now. And look at this, Chandler, his championship rival, could well get him for that podium position now because of the way the gaps are.
He's closing.
So Jolly could well be out, but here he goes
Not
on
enough.
W Verstappen once again,
No.
but a bit too far back for Jolly. He's not going to be able to make a move, but then on the exit now of turn 9, the meets Joe chicane, and now on down towards turn 10, Verstappen having a little moment there on the curb, but look at Jolly, he's catching. Look at Verstappen to the inside, but now Jolly's going to get the better run through turn 10. If he can hold it and then go to the inside or to the outside for turn 11. Verstappen holding the inside, Jolly around the outside. It's round 4 of these two battling in this corner, but Verstappen once again holds his ground and once again keeps the lead as they head now into the final sector for the 26th time and the penultimate time of this race. And Verstappen having a brilliant defensive charge, but it's not going to hold him to keep him the win because the AMS Pred is just catching all the time. And also, that was an aggressive dive there by Jolly, but it's just not enough for Jolly to get past, and I'm not even sure why he's trying because Chandler all the time is closing in this gap, and Chandler will steal that podium position away from Jolly, who now has an extra penalty, but he's all over the back is Jolly of Toby Verstappen to start the final lap of this race.
Yeah, Jolly will not stop hunting for Verstappen until he gets the job done. He knows he's probably going to lose this race on penalties, but who's he going to lose it to? Is he going to lose it to Verstappen, or is he going to lose it to Pred? We won't know until the final couple of corners. Verstappen goes a little bit wide there. Is that because of an exit? And look at the gain he's made. He goes really wide as well. And this is the point where Jolly has to overtake. Well, what does Pred do? If he gets too close, here comes Jolly. Which way is he going to go? Verstappen goes defensive, the long way round again for Jolly. Around the outside. Oh, Verstappen's
round.
Verstappen's spun. And that's Jolly's going to give the victory to AMS Predator on the final lap of the race. Unfortunately, there was contact there, and Jolly on track. He will win this race, but Pred is going to win the French Grand Prix unless he has a penalty, which I'll check one last time. I don't think he does. Nomad's gone. Not have a penalty.
Now the question is whether Jolly's going to finish. Will Jolly finish in second or third here? Because the gap between himself and Chandler is 3 seconds, and the gap between them in penalties is only 1 in favour of Chandler. But Jolly comes around the final corner, but Pred is going to be your winner as he comes around the final corner. Jolly wins on track, but Pred will take his first win of the season after a rotten season so far. He wins ahead of Jolly, ahead of Chandler, ahead of Jinx, and Danny F31 comes in 4th place in the end, just Verstappen in 5th after gaining it in the end. Ansmouth actually gained 5th after penalties. Jinx in 7th in the end after disappointing after penalties, but good debut nonetheless. Clenzo in P8, a good race by him, with LCR Bumpton in P9 on the contra strategy. Flying Rozzy in P10, Aiden in P11, Langman in P12, Nuthead in P13, Ian Boy 14th, then Dutch Gamer Lars, Sparshot and Adam 15th, 16th, 17th. But the contra strategy, which a lot of people in chat were doubting for Pred, gives him his first ever RFL victory, and what a victory it was for AMS Pred. That was a race, I think, that will go down in RFL history as one of the best ever, I think.
I mean, I can name 3 or 4 races that have been better than this. This race has been good, but not as an all-time classic. Still a good race, though, and especially for Pred, just going on the softs in the last 6 laps and just making his move. Even though he didn't overtake the race winner, well, on track Jolly, he still won the race. He kept his head composed enough to make sure he didn't cut any corners, to make sure he didn't get any time penalties, and the result is that AMS Predator in the Ferrari, it's Forza Ferrari at Circuit Paul Ricard, because AMS Predator is finally an RFL winner at last.
Yep, what a race as Adam there doing donuts. But if you want to get the podium drivers in, and then we'll wait until Adam eventually crosses the line, or just
come on,
out. I don't know what he's going to do.
It's not, that's not loud though. Yeah, that's not loud though. So
I mean, the rules do say qualifying. I mean, they should say for the race, but anyway. We'll wait until Adam finishes. He's coming across the line now, or he's coming around the final corners now, finally, and hopefully then we can wrap up with the podium interviews. The Italian national anthem will be played in honour of Pred, but we'll do that in a few moments' time after the results as Adam crashes across the line. So Pred has won here For Ferrari, the Italian driver wins for the Italian team. And Jolly, the championship leader, comes home second. In the end, a decent result for him. I think he won't be disappointed, especially with Chandler coming home in third position, which isn't bad at all for Jolly, because that means he hasn't lost any ground to his championship rival. Danny in fourth, and Smaz comes home fifth, ahead of W. Verstappen, the man who should have been on that podium and could have been on that podium. Jinx in P7, ahead of Clenzo, Brumson and Rossi. And then you've got XXF1 Aiden, Langman, Nuthead, Ian Boy and Dutch Gamer Lars. And then Sparshot, Adam, BMG Nomad, and to Beacon and to your Pepsi is all of the 20 drivers that have taken part today. So now, if you want to invite the podium drivers, in honour of the winning driver, now, we will play the